All right, everybody, I will kick this off. Once again, my name is Tom Holland. I am the owner and director of Wilderness Adventures. My wife, Catherine, and I run this program, and we're so proud to be coming to you tonight to answer your questions. Thank you for signing up for a program. We're so excited to share our programs with kids from around the world with us this summer. And we know as parents ourselves that many people have questions going into trips. I also know that for some kids, you might have some questions too. And I can speak to both perspectives. Not only am I the owner and director of Wilderness Adventures, but I've been a trip leader. I have also been a parent. All four of our children have participated in programs. And yes, in fact, I was a student on Wilderness Adventures, and I was just thinking about this today. It has been 30 years since I went on my first trip with Wilderness Adventures. So I'm really excited to talk to you from all those different perspectives. Here's the way this is going to work. I am going to flip this slide and I'm going to go through a number of frequently asked questions, the questions we get, and maybe that will warm up some questions in the crowd too. So I'm going to give you some questions that we often get. Then I'm going to give you my own tips, and then we're going to kick it to you to see what questions you have out there. Um, we're really excited to share with you about our programs. And the way you'll want to ask your questions is you'll put it in a chat, and our team is standing by, and they'll be able to send me a message that gives me the question that you ask. So don't hesitate while I go through these first questions to send those questions out there, and we will address them all. So let me kick things off with frequently asked questions by families before their wilderness adventures summer. Okay, trip leaders. We get this often. I remember my trip leaders so well from my first trip. It was phenomenal. They were amazing people. They were tremendous role models. They were people that looked out for my safety. They were kind. They were caring. They were fun, and I wanted to be them. I thought they were the coolest people around. And we spend a lot of time hiring these great role models for our students. Catherine and I take it very personally because we want to have that same sort of feeling for all kids that I had coming home from my trip. Like these people are so awesome. We get a ton of applications for only a few spots to be trip leaders with us. And because of our over 50-year history in the industry, many great applicants come to us looking for summer employment with Wilderness Adventures. But that doesn't answer the question yet, does it? When will you know who yours are? Well, about a week ahead of time, about a week before your trip, you will receive an email from us, and it will be about connecting to the app, and you will learn how to do that. And the Wilderness Adventures app, you can't connect to that until you get that email. And then you also find out your trip leaders. Now, moms and dads out there, you need to know that a few days prior to the trip, the Wilderness Adventures trip leaders will be reaching out to you to connect so that you can get to know them a little bit and so that we can connect about your child. Kids, you're more than welcome to jump on that phone call too. It's a great way to connect before the trip. And one of the things we're passionate about is building community. And our trip leaders work really hard to make sure our families are ready for the experience and our kids are too. So when we get off that airplane, you'll know where to look for them, who they are, and what their backgrounds are. So it's about a week before the trip that you'll find out who your trip leaders are. Next question. What sort of bag should I pack my stuff in? Okay. I remember on my trip all those years ago, we fully get it that the packing list is an adventure all of its own. Okay. You can find your pack list in your Camp and Touch account. And when you go there, you want to look and see what bags are recommended. Now, different trips will have different bags recommended, right? So if you have a backpacking portion of your trip, you will have a backpack that is recommended. If you are renting gear from us, we will have your backpack at the location, at the airport when you arrive. Most of our students will pack a backpack if they are backpacking with us and they have a backpack at home. And then they will bring a duffel as well. And we do have storage on all of these trips so that we can keep, when you go in the backcountry, you don't have to carry everything with you. So many kids will bring a duffel and they'll bring that backpack with them and then maybe bring a day pack on the airplane to travel with. That's our best recommendation for you. And you should check your specific packing list because the packing list for Hawaii is different than the one for Jackson Hole. Also, it's not unheard of for parents and kids to call us from REI or from their local outdoor store to get recommendations on things. We're always happy to answer those questions for you. So I recommend duffels. It's the way to go. And if you're bringing a backpack, pack that up too, use all that space, and go from there. Next question. How should I book my travel plans? Okay, so in your Camp and Touch account, you'll also see there's some recommended windows and where you want to travel to. And you should go there first. And then you can book your flights if you have any questions about specifics or if there's a chance that you might be outside the window of arrival or departure. You can call us and let us know. You can go directly to your airline, whatever you want to do, and book that travel and then let us know. Alternatively, we work with a travel agency called Aspen Travel. And you can call them and say the trip that your child is on, and they know already the travel windows, and they can help you in getting that right flight for your child. Should you be driving your child to the airport to meet us, that is A-OK too. You'll want to let us know that you will be driving in. We welcome seeing parents, obviously, in airports. It's so fun to connect with them. And so just let us know of those things. Many people do, although it's not necessary. It is important for you when you're booking your travel plans to check the unaccompanied minors rules for each airline. Okay. That is an important distinction. If your child is of a certain age and they cannot travel by themselves, please check that so you know the rules of United and Delta. And unfortunately, they're all a little different. So that's something you'll want to look into. But we do this all the time. We work with all those airlines, and we will have our staff there at the airport ready to pick up that student. And you can call us and say, as we get closer to the trip, who they will want to know the name of the staff member that will be picking them up, and we will provide all that information to you. Okay, next question. When can we expect photo updates during the trip? Okay, honest to goodness, as a dad, all right, I try to dive into the experience myself as parents would. Now, I know you're all probably like, wait, really? Like you don't check the pictures as they come in? No, I want to have the full user experience with like our parents do. So what Catherine and I do is we print out the itinerary that should be in your Camp and Touch account, and on that itinerary, you will see little boxes that say trip update, and there'll be a check mark. Okay. I am old school. I take that, I print it out and put it up on the refrigerator at home. Catherine loves to put a reminder in her Google Calendar that we'll be getting a trip update on certain dates so that we can jump on to the app and we can see those pictures come through. Of note, all the pictures that we take, you will get at the end of the summer. And please know that we work really hard at getting these pictures out. It is something that sometimes in the middle of Yellowstone, there's not the best service. So there can be a delay that happens on that day of when the pictures are posted. But we make every effort to get them out there so that you at home can have a wonderful experience seeing what your child is up to. Okay. Next question. What kind of food will we eat? Well, we are passionate about food at Wilderness Adventures. Well, one of the reasons why we are so passionate about food is we recognize that food is a way that we can build community together. We're also passionate about food because Catherine is she is a culinary artist degree, has a degree in culinary arts, and is also a registered dietitian. So we talk about food all the time. Now, our staff gets a cookbook. and they get the Wilderness Adventures cookbook that they will take out in the field. And then our students have the opportunity to inform our staff like what they're interested in, what the food is that they would like to have on the trip. So kids, you're going to have a voice in this. You're also going to participate in the shopping, you're going to participate in the cooking. We're going to educate you on this sort of thing. I would say that we have some pretty standard meals. You will likely have pizza, you'll likely have burgers, you'll likely have salad. We always have snacks in abundance. Sometimes those snacks are fruit that are always out. So you'll get into your campsite and our staff will pull out the fruit for the afternoon. Other times we'll have a layover day. One of my favorite meals that I always used to make as a trip leader was Thanksgiving dinner, which is so fun to create on the backpacking trail. So we'll get creative and you're going to learn a lot about cooking on the trail. Um, we often get questions if there is a picky eater. Well, we're going to ask you those questions. We're going to know what you like to eat, and we are going to make sure that you're getting enough calories, eating enough while you're with us. So we're going to find the things that you might like, and we're going to really work hard at that. We also do special meals and special celebrations for birthdays when they happen on the trail, and those are also super fun. And we really doctor those to the participant who's celebrating that special day. Okay, hopefully this warmed you up a little bit to some of the questions that we might see. But I got to give you some Tom tips here. Okay, you got me for this webinar. I got to give you some Tom tips straight from the top. Okay, so I'm going to go to some basic stuff here. If you are on a backpacking trip, please don't let the first time that you wear those boots be when you get to the airport. Okay? This is a pro tip. Pro tip number one, get them now, wear them every now and then. Now, I was a peculiar young kid, and this recommendation goes back at least 30 years because I got this recommendation too. And I remember walking a local park with my parents in central Illinois, in my new hiking boots. You want to try them on, you want to get them worked in, you want to have that boot feeling your foot and your foot feeling the boot. Please, yeah, please don't let them be right out of the box into your bag and then onto your feet. Okay. That will save you the experience of getting some pretty bad blisters if you're going backpacking on a trip with us. So get those boots broken in. Nerves. If you're nervous, please know that 100% of kids going on our trips are a little nervous beforehand. Okay? 100% of my kids, my children, have been nervous before their trip. They know these trip leaders, they know this life, they know this office, they know how we run trips, and you get nervous, right? This is totally normal. If you're a parent out there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. I'm sending my child off. Please know that we know that you're nervous too. And we do not take your trust lightly. We work really hard to make sure that you're having a wonderful experience at home, just like our kids are having a wonderful experience. And there are so many kids that are having those butterflies in your stomach, and it is totally okay to have those nerves. It doesn't mean that you're not normal, that you shouldn't do the trip. Because the kids come on, and then the minute you touch down, we're going to be diving into group games. You're going to be learning about all that we do, and we go off and running on that itinerary, and it will be so very fun. So you're in for a treat. And parents, all the while, don't hesitate. You'll get trip updates from us. Always, no news is good news, but we're passionate about you too. If you got a concern and you want to know how the group's doing, pick up the phone. We have a team that mans our phones 24 hours a day from June 1 to the end of August, right? So we're here for you. If you have a question, we always get updates from trips, how they are. No news obviously is good news, but we do, if you want to know how that first week is going, don't hesitate to give us a call. Okay. All right. Carry-on bag, right? So when you take your carry-on bag, this is our pro tip to you. Pack snacks, water, your medications, and maybe even an extra set of clothes. It does happen that bags can get lost, as we all know from airlines. We have no control over that. We work really hard to grab those bags. But please know that you maybe want to pack things in that day pack that will tide you over for a bit of time. So some snacks, some water, your medications, obviously, and maybe even an extra set of clothes. Okay. Um, all right. It is that time. I hope there might be some questions out there. It is that time that I could answer your questions. So we're going to see if there's any out there. If you have any, put them in the chat, and we are there. We are getting a question about from a family. They haven't signed up yet, but they're interested in summer programs for 2026. Are there still spots remaining? They are. They're limited. They are limited. So if you have an interest in our programs, um, please get in touch with us as soon as you can because you might not have the dates or the trip that is available, but we do have some select spots still available. Um, and what makes us different from other programs like us? Well, we get that question a lot as well. I think there's a few things. Number one is our over 50-year history. We have been at this for a very long time. So the trip, folks, that I did as a kid, we do the exact same program today and run the exact same routes. So our staff has been down those trails. We know this, and Wilderness Adventures has over 40,000 alumni that have been on trips with us. We know how to do this. And we're extremely high touch. We work really hard to make sure our families are having a great time and our kids are having a great time on their trips. I also think something that's really important when you're looking at summer camp programs out there, we are one of the few trip and travel programs that is accredited by the American Camp Association. That means that volunteers, excuse me, have come into our program and looked at all of our policies and procedures and how we do things, and they have given us a rating of accredited, which is is the only proof that exists of a camp's commitment to the health, safety, and welfare of kids. Of the 20,000 summer camp programs in the country, only about 2,000 of them have received this status, and it's a really great thing. That's why you pick us. And then, quite frankly, I think we have some of the best trip leaders out there. Our commitment to community is really, really strong. And we are a small business where you get to connect with us anytime you want to. You can call and say, "Is Tom there?" And I'm here at the office working with my wife, Catherine, running this program, and our kids are all a part of it as well. Okay, can I bring a camera? 100% you can. It's so fun. What I go to in my mind when I think about this is, well, I'm just gonna do it because I can. So, gang, you're like, what is up with this guy? You guys, that first trip that I went on, this is my photo album from it. And it is such a fun memory to go down memory lane and see some of these great pictures that I took when I was 15 years old. Okay. Um, we totally recommend that you bring a camera. In fact, we have a photo contest that we do at the end of the summer to see who took the best pictures throughout the summer. Now, we don't want that camera to be a device that can text or get you on the internet or anything like that. We are a device free when it comes to connectivity environment. We think that's really important for kids. Now, parents, what you need to know, our staff is well connected to us all the time. So we have the ability to have connection with them. But kids, you can bring an old school camera. You can bring a camera that is digital. We want those things to be had so that you can get great pictures throughout your trip. And going through them at the end is it's just so fun to have those memories. Okay, seeing if there's other questions. Okay, prior experience. We get this all the time. I'm going with a theme here of my trip that I did as a kid. So I'm just going to keep playing that. I remember going to my parents. I lived in Central Illinois. Okay. I was into baseball and basketball, and I never went to summer camp. And I got a catalog in the mail. This is pre-internet, kids. I'm a little bit older. Um, and I was like, wait, I got to do this thing. And my parents said to me, you've never done anything like this in your life. You've never camped out. You don't know what fleece is. We don't have hiking boots. We don't even have a sleeping bag, right? And I said, well, here in the catalog it says they'll teach you everything you need to know. You don't need to know this. Um, and they finally conceded and they let me go. Um, and obviously I had a wonderful time. My message for anyone who's never been and never done anything like this, we will teach you everything you need to know. And on your trip, one of the coolest parts about Wilderness Adventures is so many kids come not having had this experience before. All you need to bring with you is a willingness to try new things, and you will be just fine. Um, so if you're game, if you're like, I'm willing to give it a shot, let's do it. The trips, there are other camp programs that exist to make the world's best next solo climber or whitewater kayaker. That's not us. We want to expose you to these things. We want you to give them a try. We want you to go home with wonderful memories having done them. But our program has brings together a lot of kids that are looking for a fun time, that are willing to try new things, and that love the outdoors or want to get to know it a little bit more. And so that is that dimension there. So a really great opportunity. You don't need to have prior experience. I am case in point of that. And you'll be surrounded by others who have not had this experience. We get a question here about will there be other people that know each other on the trip? We get this question a lot. Sometimes there is, but it's not the majority. Um, Sometimes cousins come together, right? Might be siblings, twins. Um, we really try to work hard to have kids uh, come separately, but it does happen where friends come together. If you are coming with a friend, please note that due to our commitment to the community, there will be opportunities where we might split you up in different tents at night. We want to pull that whole group together so we don't have any really strong cliques. That's going to be something we work on. We always try to pull that community together. And sometimes one of the awesome parts about Wilderness Adventures is you can be 17, 18 years old and coming on your first ever trip with us. And on that trip might be some alumni who have been on three, four, five trips. And the culture of Wilderness Adventures is to invite everyone in and to really make a community that exists. I know sometimes some of our alumni have bumped into other alumni on other trips, right? So they go on a second trip together just by chance, or maybe they have a trip leader that has returned. So the trip leader and the student know each other and they've been on multiple trips together. That stuff does happen too. But we are very welcoming of new students along the way. How often do you get to shower and how often do you get to do laundry? So laundry, you'll have laundry days on your trip. If you have a 2 week trip, you'll be doing probably 4 days of activities and then laundry. It could be 2 or 3 times during that trip that you'll have laundry. We always want to send kids home with clean laundry. You'll do one before the end of the trip. Showers are a little bit case by case basis based on trip. So what that means is if you're on the thoroughfare, which is one of our biggest backcountry sections, they go in the backcountry for about 10 straight days, so they won't have the shower in the backcountry setting. But if you are at a front country campsite multiple nights, there might be showers there where you can shower multiple nights in a row. Definitely something that happens. When you go in the backcountry, obviously there are no showers. But when you get back to the front country, we always hit the shower first. We hit laundry when we get back from the backcountry, and you'll have those things to make you feel at home. Clean clothes, clean body, and be ready for the next activities. Okay. Seeing if there are other. Oh, all right, folks. Okay, we strive to have this under 30 minutes, and I hope that we took some time to answer some questions for you. Now, I would just want to plug another webinar that we have coming up here soon. Okay. I'm really excited about this. Um, One of my dear friends in the world, been a mentor to me. His name is Michael Thompson. Michael Thompson is a New York Times best-selling author. He wrote the book called Raising Cain, which is about raising young boys in America. We are dear friends. We connect often about youth development and kids. And he wrote an amazing book called Homesick and Happy. It is called How Time Away from Parents Can Help a Child Grow. Uh, Parents, this is a great opportunity for you to join us. It'll be on May 4th at 6 p.m. Please join us for this. If you have other friends that don't know about Wilderness Adventures, this is just for the whole community, the whole world to hear some of Michael's thoughts for parents, as you get a little bit nervous about that step that you're taking, and he talks a lot about the power of the camp experience and the power of experiences like Wilderness Adventures. He's a dear friend of mine. I look forward to that hour-long conversation. I'll be asking him lots of questions, getting some answers, some responses, and we do hope that you join us for this great webinar. This is free to everybody. And he is just a phenomenal resource to us at Wilderness Adventures, and just a phenomenal person in general. So we hope that you join us for that. All right, gang, to the kids that are on this call, my name is Tom Holland, not the Spider-Man Tom Holland. This is the Wilderness Adventures Tom Holland. And I am so excited that you're joining us this summer. I cannot wait to see you on the trail. You will see me out and about, a bunch. I try to get out as much as I can to see you. Parents, as always, if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to call our team. We are here for you as well. And we are counting down the days until summer. Until then, have fun with the packing list, and we can't wait to see you soon. Take care.